Hey guys, it's Country Moran. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I propagate my dragon fruit cuttings. I have some dragon fruit cuttings here and I'm just going to show you guys my way and how I do it. Don't know if it's the right way, but I'll just share with you the little that I know about dragon fruit propagation. So these dragon fruit cuttings that I have here, they're from a plant that was right here. So I had a very large dragon fruit plant that was growing up on this aviary, and I just cut it back and put the cuttings right here. And I'm going to explain also to you guys why I did put the cuttings here before I went ahead and start the propagation process, which this is a part of the propagation process, but why I put them here before I went ahead and just direct put them in the soil. So let me just take up these cuttings here and I'm going to take them in the greenhouse. When dealing with your dragon fruit, if you can, just go ahead and put on some gloves because they have some spikes on them or some thorn on them which will stick you. These are some of the supplies you're going to need when propagating your dragon fruit. Well, first, you're going to need your dragon fruit cuttings. We have that right here, so check on that. You're going to need some containers, soil, and a few pieces of stick or anything for support in those containers with some of the dragon fruit plant or cuttings. So for example, I have this cutting here and this is a long cutting. When I put it down in this container, I'm gonna need some support for it because you don't want to bury a dragon fruit too deep or else they'll start to rot. So that's why you're gonna need some stick. I have a bamboo here, but for most people that lives in the city, if you should stop by Home Depot or any of those big box store, just get yourself some of these paint sticks, the mixer sticks that come with the paint. You can just pick up a few. Most time people just throw them out. They buy the paint and they pick up some of these and they just throw them out. So you can just pick them up, have them to support these smaller dragon fruit plants until they root properly and you're going to transplant them. I'm going to be using some of this Captain Fill because this is what I have. You can use any soil that you have to start your dragon fruit. So I normally go to the stores and I look for the cheapest soil. That's what I use in my garden. When I take it home, I'll amend it depending on what I'm planting. But to start these dragon fruit, you don't need to amend the soil or anything. So you can just go to the big box store, get one of the cheapest soil that you can find. And that's a very inexpensive way to start your dragon fruit. So just get your cheapest soil from the big box store. No need to spend a lot of money starting a few dragon fruit cuttings. You're going to want to cut your dragon fruit branches about a week before you propagate them, just so that the joints can dry out. If the joints are fresh and wet, it may start to rot on you. So I would just advise you, cut it a week or so before and just allow them to dry out a bit and you should get better result. But not saying that the wet branches or the wet joints won't catch, but best if you just cut them and have them dried out a couple of days. So it takes a bit of patience, and if you should ever get into any form of rot issue, just cut off that part that is getting rot and just allow it to dry and just go again with that same branch. So these things, they're very forgiving. So let's just go ahead now and start planting these cuttings. And I'm gonna open this bag of dirt. Let me just put on some glove. It's really hot here in Florida, guys, so it's about what, 8:30 now in the morning and I'm sweating, and this is a very thin shirt that I'm in, so it's super hot. This is why summer times I try to do one video per week, and when it comes to the fall months I'll share 2 or so video with you guys. But I'm not in the garden for any extended period during the summer month because it is so hard to garden here in Florida during the summer months. So it's kind of a lazy garden that I do throughout the summer month, but I just set it the right way, or I just set it my way. I don't want to say the right way because many people have many different way of doing things that works just as good as me or even better. So here we have a container with soil, and when planting the dragon fruits, you're just going to want to cover about half an inch to an inch in soil. Anything more than that is unnecessary, and that's when rot start happening. So don't go too deep with your dragon fruit, just an half an inch to an inch, that's enough. And here's where the support comes in also, from the sticks that I have here. So I'm going to get it to about half an inch, just for the plant to stand straight and not fall over. And then I'm going to put this piece of stick beside it. And then I forgot to tell you guys, I'm going to use a piece of cord just to tie the dragon fruit to this stick. And there you go. It is as simple as that. But remember, don't plant your dragon fruits too deep. They're going to root quite well this way, and you're going to get better results if you do it this way. Half an inch to an inch, that's perfect. Going in deep with your dragon fruit, it's just going to be a waste of time. Most time, as I said, you're going to be getting rot in these dragon fruits if you go too deep with them. So here we have another one, and you just want the stem part to be in, and once that starts rooting, it's going to be very rapid. So we're just going to put a piece of stick now in this for support again. Just don't worry about planting these things too deep. And I'm just going to tie this dragon fruit right here with this piece of stick. It's going to be perfect. So here we are. I have 10 dragon fruit cuttings right here, and this is more than I really want. So I'm just going to keep them. For these cuttings that I didn't put in the soil, I'll just give them away to friends. But for your dragon fruit cuttings, do not go ahead right away and put them in direct sun. Put them in a shaded area, allow them to grow, or when you see that new stem start coming out, that means you have root some of the time, and that means there is growth. So there and then you can move them out into a sunny area, because your dragon fruits love to be in the sun. But for this stage, you're going to keep them in a shaded area, and don't overwater them. You can water them depending on the soil texture that you have or the humidity of your climate. You can water them maybe twice a week, I would say. So that's really my advice on doing dragon fruit this way, starting them this way. You can go ahead also and you can start them direct in ground. They will grow depending on your climate. Most of the time they will grow. So they are very hardy. You don't have to pamper them like what I'm doing here. But if you just get a few cuttings and you want the best from it, I think this is the way that you can go ahead and start your dragon fruit cuttings. For those shoots that I'm talking about, that I said you can wash them, and when you see them pop out, that means the plant is growing. Do not go ahead and move them out in the sun until those shoots are about, or minimum, an inch. An inch to 2 inches, that's when you can go ahead and move them out into the sun and start caring for your dragon plants otherwise. But before then, keep them in a shaded area, baby them a bit, or just leave them, set them and forget them, and allow them to root properly before you transplant them also. But these things, they're very hardy. This variety that I have here, this is called the American Beauty. You see it's falling over because I haven't stick this one as yet. So this is the American Beauty. Just have to get some stick now, put in these, and just get a cord and attach them to the support, and they should be good. Because if you have them leaning over, it's going to disturb the root. Every time those root systems start growing and they get a shift, it's gonna restart. So it's gonna delay it. It won't kill it, but it's gonna be a delay, and we don't want to have delays in the garden. We want our plants to come so that we can have an early harvest. That's it for dragon fruit. Simple, but I just want to share this one with you guys. Nothing too complicated, simple. Just a few rookie mistake you guys don't want to make by planting your dragon fruits too deep, starting them in full sun, and not supporting them so that they don't turn over whilst rooting. Those are just some basic things that you want to know when starting your dragon fruits. So really and truly, I'm done with dragon fruits. A friend of mine brought some callaloo for me yesterday, some amaranth. You guys know I have a ton of amaranth, but he was driving down from New York and he took down some cow tongue callaloo for me. I'm going to be putting these in my garden, maybe a few of them, not a lot. So most of these will go to waste. I'm going to be putting down maybe about 6 of these in the garden just to get a different strain and so that they can cross-pollinate, and maybe I can just get a stronger set of callaloo in this garden. But other than that, I didn't really need callaloo, but for the cow tongue variety, I'm quite grateful. So I really want to thank you guys who have reached out to me about the whole disaster that went on in the garden. The garden is coming back. If you look, we have a lot of amaranth coming up. We have okras. Things are coming back, and it's been 2 weeks now. I'll be sharing more with you guys on the garden, but for now, as I said, it's just one video a week. I'm sweaty right now and it's morning time here in Florida. I can't be standing outside working and have a camera. I would love to share a lot more with you guys, but that's going to be for the fall months. So that's going to be it from Country Morrow. God bless you all. See you in the next one. Happy gardening, stay safe, and cheers.